This is SportsCenter.
On the final edition of Girls SportsCenter, we cover the District 8 and Region 4 tournaments. Starting with a wild and crazy game between the Cats and the Cards, where 3 players scored over 20 points. Fortunately, 2 of them played for North Star. And then going to the District Championship game that went back and forth until the Bearcats' experience helped them pull away in the final minutes to win their second championship game in the last 4 years. And then going into the Region 4 tournament with the number 1 seed looking for revenge as we open against a team that handed us our first loss of the season. And finally wrap up to a very successful season as the Bearcat girls finished with their best record since 1991. It's all on SportsCenter right now.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Bearcat Girls SportsCenter. I'm Travis Blake, along with Hayden Larson. By the time the District 8 tournament rolled around, there were 3 teams with only 1 loss. North Star was one of those teams, and by virtue of a tiebreaker, they got the number 1 seed in the first round bye.
In the semifinals, they went up against Langdon.
If this were Cardinal SportsCenter, we'd be showing clip after clip of Mackenzie Hart's 24 first-half points. But since it's not, we'll start out with this 3 by Allie, one of only 2 baskets scored by the Cats in the first quarter. And here's the other one, an impressive pass from Morgan long down court to Kelsey for the layup. Hart scored all 17 of Langdon's points in the second quarter, but Allie kept the Bearcats close by scoring 10 straight points herself. The Bearcats were down by 7 at halftime. This shot by Kelsey helped close the gap just a bit. This steal and assist by Sarah brought North Star within 1 point as Kelsey got 2 of her 9 third-quarter points. Jessica got this shot to drop to tie the game at 50, which was a score at the end of regulation. Another steal and layup put the Bearcats up by 1, but Langdon got a late free throw to send it to a second overtime. Allie tied the game at 60 apiece with 1.5 minutes to go in the second overtime. Kelsey won the game with 2 free throws with under a minute to go. It was a long, exciting game with only Allie and Kelsey scoring in double figures for the Bearcats, and only Mackenzie Hart doing so for the Cardinals.
That brings us to the championship game against the Rolla Bulldogs. Rolla had handed the Bearcats their only district loss earlier in the year, so it was payback time for the Bearcats.
Both teams had trouble scoring in the first half, but here's a nice fast break by the Cats as Jenny hits Kelsey with the long pass as Kelsey dishes it off to Jessica for the layup. Morgan Peters finishes off the quarter with this long 3-point buzzer beater to put the Bearcats up by 3. Things heated up considerably in the second half. This is Jessica using a move she learned from her brother. Here's one of Megan's 3 baskets in the third period. She finishes the game with a total of 10 points. The Bearcats were down by 4 when Allie hits this 3-pointer. With her toes on the line, Sarah hits this shot to give North Star a 37-36 lead. The lead exchanged hands several times in the third, but in the fourth, Kelsey hit this long 2-pointer to help the Bearcats gradually pull away from the Dogs. Bearcats scored 44 second-half points and end up winning the championship game by 8. Their season record at this point was 17-4.
That gave us a number 1 seed in the Region 4 tournament in Devils Lake. The Bearcats took on New Rockford Cheyenne, who had defeated us rather soundly in the first game of the season, but we were a much better team at the end of the season than we were at the beginning. Kelsey Tubner gets the first bucket for the Cats with this jumper from 18. But this night belongs to Jessica Tubner. Here she gets her first of 7 baskets for the game. Sarah Hegler gave the team some good points off the bench in the entire tournament. She had 7 on this night, including this driving layup, which she followed up quickly with this 3-pointer. Senior Jenny Swanson nailed this baseline jumper in the second quarter. And then fellow senior Morgan Peters called this bank shot from the left side block. Jessica scored in every quarter, but did her best in the second. Here, scoring 2 of her 8 second quarter points. The Bearcats outscored New Rockford Cheyenne 9-4 in the third quarter. This 3-pointer by Morgan almost equals the opponent's total for the entire 8 minutes. Megan can be a force inside. Here, she rebounds the missed shot and puts it back up for 2 points and the foul. After 3 straight low-scoring quarters, both offenses heated up in the fourth, and the Bearcats hit 15 of 17 free throws to hold off any rally by New Rockford Cheyenne. Jessica and Allie both scored in double figures.
The semifinal game saw the Bearcats make comebacks in both halves, but they didn't quite have enough to defeat Lakota Adams Edmore. Kelsey led a balanced scoring effort with 16 points, but the Cats dropped the game by 6.
In the consolation game, North Star stayed with the number 1 ranked Carrington Cardinals for the most of the first quarter. But after that, Carrington gradually pulled away and won by a final score of 73-45. Even with the final 2 losses, the Lady Bearcats still finished the season with a very impressive 18-6 record.
Allie, Kelsey, and Morgan finished the season with double-digit scoring averages. Jessica and Megan led the team in rebounds, and Sarah and Jenny came off the bench and provided almost 10 points per game between them. The team will be losing 2 players out of the top 7, Jenny and Morgan. We'll have to see who moves up to fill those spots next year, as several other district teams have a lot of their top players returning.
That's all for this final edition of Bearcat Girls Sports Center. On behalf of Travis Blake, I'm Hayden Larson, and have a nice day.